Malik Rivera.
First time up there, what have you heard? What are the stories they're telling you about it?
The first one is they're very loud. Yeah, it's going to be a different environment. It's going to probably be the loudest I've ever heard anything. So just trying to get ready for it, trying to do everything we know we need to do. Working on maybe hand signals between us to make sure if we can't get communication right with verbally, trying to go to something different. So just trying to really just work through that a little bit more this week than anything.
What's the toughest road game you played when you were at Wofford?
That was my first game I ever played at Clemson for opening day. Yeah, that was definitely the toughest. Couldn't hear in the stadium. First game playing, and then on top of that, the starter got hurt within the first 20 plays. Yeah, it was a rough game, but we got through it. So,
Coach talked about giving you guys a couple days off for heal physically, but he also talked about healing mentally. I mean, was that something that helped you out?
Oh yeah, it definitely did. I spent mine. I actually drove up to Spartanburg again to go watch them play. I got to see my best friend, who's the starting fullback, play. But he scored 2 touchdowns. Wasn't able to make the full game, but yeah, it was great to just be able to watch that, hang out with some friends, old teammates, see all of them. So yeah, it was a good mental break for me, honestly. So that was a great thing.
What have you seen on film from Virginia Tech that kind of piques your interest?
Right now, they're very physical. I think that's the number one thing. Just got to match that, honestly.
They like mixing deep balls, particularly Willis, and then swing passes.
Swing passes, getting on the edge, making you run, especially to the field. Seeing a couple times that trips into the down screen, throw that quick screen, out screen. Just making sure you have your eyes in the right place. That's the main thing, just eyes in the right place, and if they're in the right place, you know when you need to come downhill, you know when you need to play back in the post. So.
I imagine seeing that trips thing gives you some flashbacks of some of the games earlier this year,
yeah.
And trying to make sure guys see that quickly and get lined up.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, just getting lined up, and also working tempo in a lot more, just in case it comes up. We know they're not a big tempo team, but teams have done it before, so just making sure we work that in a little bit, and make sure that's still on our mind, and getting lined up quickly and seeing the formation, especially when we get the call.
Do you watch much extra film like on your own?
Yeah, probably about a good 30 minutes every night, try to get in, just to make sure. Coach makes a lot of cuts for us, so going through those, just by formation, by personnel, and then by specific receivers or targets, just going through those, just making sure, knowing what routes they specifically run or what they could run based on what they've already run, so things like that.
What have you seen from Wanye, like working behind you? Imagine he seems like such a freak athlete that it's got to be kind of cool to see a young guy like that, and you're tutoring him.
It's amazing to see him grow in the new things that he learns every day. I think it was 2 weeks ago. The main thing we were working on before the Louisville game was just him yelling a little bit more, getting loud on the field, just so people can hear him. It's not just. I know when you say it quietly, you might know what's going on, but saying it loud is something to confirm what you know and also let everybody else know that you're confident in what you're saying. So that's the biggest thing. I was trying to get him to know that, and then now it's just kind of he's lined up in the correct spot, but just moving that line maybe over just a yard or get back a yard, just so that he's in a better position to make the kind of plays that he needs to make. But he's been doing amazing with it. It's great to see him grow every day. So
you guys like the sub package. It seemed like it has trouble, particularly second and third down in passing situations. I'm curious what you've seen there and how you guys can get better at that.
I think it's just better with our eyes, mainly than anything. Just keeping our eyes on our man and focusing on that and not trying to get our eyes off of that and too tempted to, oh, we're close to him right now, so let me just take a peek back and maybe he just slips behind us. So just really just focusing on that man, and then when you really are in position, if you take a quick peek, come back and make sure, or at least make sure you have a hand on him so you know where he's at all times. So little things like that is a big thing.
It's funny, I mean, I've heard that, and I'm guessing it's one of those things that's probably harder to do than actually to say, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, especially when you know the ball's probably in the air and you want to make a play on it because everyone wants to make a play. They want to intercept the ball. So the big thing is, especially when you hear like a ball call from somebody on the sideline, just not, sometimes especially if you're not out of position, not looking back because that ball could be a little bit deeper and just right in their hands and you're so far behind that. With that little peek back is going to put you out of position. So maybe just playing the hands a little bit more. And then if you're really truly in position, leaning on that man as well, so that you can get a position, at least you have that feeling on the man. So those are the biggest things.
Do you feel like you guys have gotten better with the communication and alignment thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
much better. Yes, that's been night and day. We must get better on those things, and we still need to continue to grow with it. But we're getting so much better with it every day.
How much do you think of like the playbook? I guess that you guys are you guys working with?
I honestly couldn't tell you how much because that'd be how much Coach Woody wants to keep adding. So,
All right.
but I would say it's probably a good. I'd say the majority of it's in, but I wouldn't know an exact amount honestly.
Chris, how do you feel physically, just being an ACC versus having played Wofford at that level? Do you feel it any differently than before? Or?
I think I feel differently just because of the fact that I have 4 classes right now, but that's a lot less than I've ever had before. So just because
of breeze, mine.
Yeah, for me that's like I can go sit in the training room. Like even today I was in the training room for probably about 3 hours, just working on different things for my body, just to help me recover.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's the biggest thing. I feel just because of that reason my body does feel better than it's ever felt before, just because I have been able to just really sit back, and then also mentally it's been a little easier just because taking one last class. So yeah, that's been the biggest thing honestly. So I would say it's just a little easier, and that's only just because I'm only taking those 12 hours. So
Anything else from